welcome to the official Munzee podcast.
I'm Rob, also known as Coach V, your host and the president of Munzee.
And I'm Craig, also known as C. Michelle. I'm here to explore the world of Munzee from within.
Each week, we'll delve into Munzee's mysteries, discover treasures, and inform players from around the world just what's coming your way.
So sit back, relax, as today we chat about the week that was, as we always do, some hairy nails, some stamps, the North and South Pole, and also a very special question for Rob, and ending, as always, Rob, with the Munzee tip of the week. G'day, mate. How are you this week?
G'day. Hey, I'm doing great. How are you doing this week?
Good, mate. Good. I love the way you sort of reiterate my g'day. You're actually starting to sound a little bit Australian, but not
right.
Really.
G'day. You know,
it's an American.
I try and do the English greetings over here. So when I'm talking to you, it needs to be an Aussie greeting. I mean, come on.
What are the English greetings saying? What do they say? A good day, sir. A good day to you.
Well, they don't say howdy. I can tell you that.
No, they don't
much.
say howdy.
No, it's not howdy. Hiya.
Yeah. Oh, very good. Very good.
Yeah.
Well, what have you been up to this week, mate? Anyway, the week that was, what have you been doing?
Well, I've been doing quite a few things actually. Just enjoying things, trying to finish up the year, getting ready for January and those big Florida events that you and I are going to.
Yes.
Excited about that, but we're going to get to that in a bit.
Yeah.
But what I did that was most exciting, I think, this week is that I listened to you on the Munzee Maniacs podcast, and I laughed quite a bit, and I also went, ooh, quite a bit. You had a good time.
Yes, I did. And I'll say this as well, put it out there. I did have a great time on the Munzee Maniacs podcast. If you didn't listen to it, I suggest you find it for yourself. It's on the Munzee Water Cooler. It's out there as well, the Munzee Maniacs podcast, and have a listen to the last episode itself. Kevin's a great guy. He was so chilled, relaxed, and laid back and whatnot. Sarah was great, except Sarah can't get a word in edgeways. I'll say that. PJ, however, sort of leads the way when it comes to the voice. But in saying that too, I did have fun with PJ, and you know what? I will say this: he's a good sport. He took it on the chin.
He is a good sport. I could hear it in his voice. He did laugh. He tries to battle back some, and that's great. But yes. Lots of you got him again moments from me as I was listening. Very entertaining.
Poor PJ, but I'm still
PJ.
Team Sarah. Just saying.
I'm neutral. Me and Kevin.
This is true. This is true. Well, mate, I actually had a little bit of a party myself because last Friday I didn't realize. So I was on a trip to Pennsylvania, just a drive trip. I wasn't driving. I was passenger, so I could cap. And I was cap. And I used one of, what's his name? Carson, Buckeye Casher. I used one of his Munzee tips and tricks where he uses his filter, and I filtered for those high value virtual Munzees that he does. He did a filter video out there a while ago. And I saw that and I copied what he did. And I'm telling you now, it gets rid of all those cheap ass ones, I'm going to say. Ones that gets rid of the, what do they call it? The crossbows and the night goggles and all that from the highways, because you're doing 60, 70 mile an hour, 110 kilometers per hour for everyone else. You're not going to have time to cap everything. So just the high value ones, the surprise wheels, the hotels, the motor, all those sort of ones along the route. So I managed to get, I couldn't believe it, 110,000 points on the Friday, which put me in 50th position, and I got a badge for 50th.
Ooh,
I know,
that's
halfway badge.
That's a
cool one. So I looked into the badges, and again, this is a Munzee podcast. I looked into the badges. I need a few more now, Rob. I'm addicted a little bit to these badges, I'll just say. I need to get the 100, the final spot badge. I need to get 42, the meaning of life, and also 21, blackjack. The blackjack badge 21. I like those. They're cool. There's other badges out there, of course, but they're the ones that I actually need and I really, really want. And, that's what am I going after now is those badges. So there you go.
It's fun to try and maneuver your way up and down the leaderboard. Some people just, leave it to chance, and other people really watch and they sit and deploy last minute type stuff in order to move themselves up and down. And other people are doing the same thing. So good luck on those days.
Exactly. Mine was by chance though. The 50th was totally by chance. I woke up the next morning and found out that I was 50. I went, oh, look at this. And then I started to sort of dive a little bit deeper into these badges and what other badges are out there and whatnot too. So that was really cool. The other thing, Rob, I did, Super Chuckles, a good Munzee mate of mine, I'll say, Super Chuckles, he private messaged me and said, Craig, I grabbed my... Did you check the Redeem store? And I went, no. So I went and checked the Redeem store because I woke up to his message, checked the Redeem store. Christmas mech on the Redeem store, Rob.
What?
Wow. I know. At reduced cogs too. Look at that.
Reduced cogs. I like that.
Reduced cogs. Oh, yeah. A discounted reduced cogs.
I thought I would have some good times with that one. So while I was early, knowing like I was doing it early in the morning here, going, oh man, Craig's going to wake up and he's going to see this stuff, and he's going to, because you've said this is part of your daily routine and everything. I was like, he's going to be so excited to see that I've put some of these things in. So I'm just writing little jokes into the whole thing with like frogs to cogs being the name of one of them, and flip your frogs into cogs and then turn your it's raining deer or something like that. So,
yes, I saw that.
Just having these are the droids you're looking for, that kind of stuff. So,
Well, funnily enough though, and again, things you learn, right? So I then, of course, I had to share my newfound information with my Munzee clan in my little Munzee group. So my Munzee, I messaged them straight away, bam. And obviously they're in Australia, so they wake up to the message. I didn't realize that some of my clan members don't actually, if you don't have access to these mech, then you won't see them in the Redeem store.
Correct.
You need to have the blueprints. You need to have done those previous secret Zeops or whatever needs to be done in order to actually have the blueprints. Therefore, then they show up, because one didn't show up in my store. I still haven't got one. I'm missing one. I know. I'm missing one.
Weird.
I know.
Cybersource Rex, maybe? I wonder which one it was.
I'll have to have a check after the episode. I'll check anyway. So yeah. So there you go. Yeah.
Interesting. And that was a test for something that's coming up a bit later that we're going to talk about. So there you go. I'm really glad to know what you just said confirmed what I was testing.
Oh, there you go, people. See, this is such a good podcast, mate. I learn stuff. People out there, the listeners, learn stuff, and you use us. You use us to be your test bunnies. I like it.
In the nicest of ways. Hey, let's talk about all of the events that happened last week, shall we?
Absolutely. In USA, we had in California, Iowa, Arizona, Nebraska, Illinois, South Carolina, Minnesota, Colorado, Texas, and around the world, Rob, we had
Canada, Finland, 2 in the Netherlands, 2 in England, 3 in Germany, Australia, Denmark had 2, Poland, and Lithuania had 2. Big weekend.
Big weekend, and because it was double points weekend as well for those and mailbox owners, the leaderboards over the weekend on Friday, Rob, we had
nice one. Pinkle J, 300,000 points. J1. A 101, 1.08 million. So there were 4 millionaires on Sunday.
4
Wow.
millionaires on Sunday. And speaking of videos, I saw this just this morning. Actually, I saw Minnesota Boy's video.
Oh,
He was there as well. So Minnesota Boy and Waylon, they both do event videos, which are both cool. Minnesota Boy, he walks around with his team, you see, and does the capping around the event, like whatever as well. And I saw Rob. I'm not sure. I'm sure I got the tip of the week a couple of weeks ago back from the Minnesota people because I saw them. They had gloves on and everything as well, and they were using a stylus to cap and tap and whatever else was. So yeah, I saw them with gloves on, using a stylus, and I went, "Oh, look at that! The tip of the week." Obviously it came from them. I'm not saying they listened to me, but it came from them, I dare say. So there you go.
Well,
That's really
good.
cool, and that's the points that they got for millionaires on Sunday. The current events though for this weekend coming up is in.
Well, in the U.S., we've got Iowa, Maryland, Missouri, 2 in Florida, Tennessee, Massachusetts. In the world,
we have the UK, Victoria and Queensland of Australia, Finland, British Columbia in Canada, and in Germany as well. And of course, is it double points this weekend for Anna Mailbox?
Yes.
Look at that.
The double points this weekend are on greenies, temp verts, cards, jewels, and gaming types, and that's for the mailbox owners. And a special reminder: the jewels and the gaming, that includes physical and virtual types. We don't always write that, but it's the category is doubled. Yeah, so physical and virtual.
There you go. So get out there, either physically or virtually. Get out. Well, don't get there virtually. You know what I'm saying.
Yeah.
But yeah, you can cap physically. You can cap the jewels and the gaming points and get double points if you are an Anna Mailbox owner. Meanwhile, we're going to move on to the first possible mega event in 2024 coming up. Rob, big things have happened this week. I've reached out to some of the runners of the events themselves because there's different events have different organizers, you see, which is really cool. They spread it out. I like that. It's in a new event area in Lake Nona near Orlando in Florida. So far, Rob, there's 31 attends so far. That's of yesterday morning. Some names you may hear in this podcast will be there, like yourself and myself. Dale and Barb, Coalcracker 7, Buckeye Casher put in, Minnesota Boy, which we just mentioned. Whelan's going to be there. I'm going to say he's going to be wheeling and dealing, just saying. And, of course, the latest one that I heard yesterday is the geocaching vlogger is going to be there as well. So some names are going to be there, Rob.
Confirmed. He will be there. And we're all going to have a great time. I can tell you it has gone international as well. We do have 2 players from Germany that are traveling over. Yeah, so they're on there. And people are familiar with the name Jack Sparrow. So Jack Sparrow's going to be there. Yeah.
There you go. There you go. There's more and more. So make sure why we promote this, guys, is make sure you get your attends in ASAP so the organisers know how many to accommodate for. But if you have a look on I think it was the Munzee Cooler Facebook page, he announced that there's going to be prizes like premium memberships as prizes, Robert, if you're there. Yeah, nice. So make sure you get in your will attend or your your will attends basically. Make sure you get them in before Christmas. If you get them in before Christmas, you go in the draw. If you don't, if you just turn up late, then you're not going to get some of the prizes. So make sure you get your will attends in ASAP. Meanwhile, Rob, there's rumors. Can I talk about these rumors?
Sure, why not?
Yeah, the rumor has it that there's going to be some special Munzee run auto deploy gardens in the areas of the events as well.
What?
What's that about?
I guess some special garden builder must have been working on stuff behind the scenes, and those are. I don't know where the rumor came from, but I've also heard around a different water cooler that it's possible that people will see those
really
soon.
Cool. That's really cool. And those people who don't understand what we talk about auto deploys, if you see Dale gets on the water cooler every now and then, and he does an auto deploy garden saying, at 9 a.m. Munzee HQ time, I'm going to release an auto deploy. You click the link and you go and you buy whatever it is that's available, and he deploys them all in one go, bam, and they're ready to go. So that sort of thing, that's auto deploy gardens. So Munzee are going to run those as well. That's really cool. But Rob, there's also a special badge.
Yeah, I'm going to have a special badge because typically when I go to events and it's like, hey, here's a Florida license plate, specific to that event. So I'll have one, and it is entirely possible and very likely that there will be quite a few other special badges, and some of them might be attached to unique people that are
That's really
traveling
cool.
to the event, like yourself, possibly. Who knows?
Oh,
I mean, hey,
see, this is new information to me too.
I know. Well, you're the official Munzee podcast, and so maybe there should be some sort of a podcast, badge
podcast.
for that they can get, and they get it from you. Might as well.
Well, Rob, this is just a reminder. This is not on the show notes, just to let you know, but
Okay.
it just reminded me as well. When I looked through my badges before, when I got my 50th badge, I looked through my badges and I've got the GCV badge. I've got the Coexist one. I've got Mari. I've got Tamara. I've got Craig, because I met them in California. Now, I've met you in Florida. I met you in California. I think I've met you somewhere else as well. Still, to this day, I don't have the Rob badge. Can you believe it?
No,
I haven't got the
really
Rob
funny.
badge. That's really funny.
That is very entertaining. There's like a Meet the Makers badge that sometimes comes with mine. It's got like an alien on it, I think. Then I have a couple of random ones. We'll have to look into that. Maybe this next time you'll get my badge.
Have to be. It's on my to-do list when I see you in Florida. And again, people, that's just another reminder, when you do come to Florida, make sure you seek out these people like Rob himself and cap him. I have capped your back badge, the one on your back, on your. Yeah, I've capped that one, but that's not a special badge. But anyway, Rob, coming up this week, we've just released this podcast today on Friday at midday, not the 5 a.m., midday. We've released 6 hours later. Why, Rob? What's happening now?
Well, you see, this week there hasn't been really a lot of stuff that's been going on for us to talk about, unless, of course, we waited to release this podcast at midday, because that's when we're putting several new things out, and they are very much worthy of being talked about. So
The first thing being?
Let's
get into it. Let's dive.
Is hairy nails.
What?
You said it at the beginning. You said we were going to talk about hairy nails. Well,
I did too.
Hairy nails. Yes. Hairy nails is what I have affectionately nicknamed our newest Places Munzee. Because you see, this newest Places Munzee is all about barbershops and hair salons and nail shops. And because we took something simple like barbershops and hair salons, and we said, oh, but what about, and we added in nail shops, as we took that core idea of getting your hair cut and turned it into getting your nails trimmed, fixed, painted, all that as well. I was like, well, should we redo the icon? And we decided no. So I said, okay, then let's just call it Hairy Nails instead, since we've got both. No one agreed.
So what's the official name of that? What's
the official?
People want to go and get the official name on the website. What's the official name of it?
The official name is the Barbershop POI.
There you go.
Barbershop Places. Yes. So that's the official name. Go get you one. You'll see these popping up worldwide. We know that. There's been some conversation recently about like, hey, we haven't had a new Places in a while. And here's the honest answer from the guy who's on the inside. We have had a lot of conversations about Places for many, many months. And we've had a hard time really settling on what do we want to do next. And all of a sudden, we've got multiple ideas that have popped up out of one conversation. So Hairy Nails is first. I mean, the barbershop.
Yeah, that's right. Barbershop. I like it. Well, I mean, we did have a discussion on this podcast, a few podcasts back now as well, when we're talking about the sloth Cubimals coming out, etc. as well. And I brought up then about the DMV POI.
Oh, yeah.
Yeah. So it's that's not happening at this point in time, but the barbershop POI definitely is. So that's really cool. Get yourself one of those on the website ASAP. While they're there, what else can they get, Rob?
Oh, well, so here's the thing. We've got a magnetic poles weekend event that is kicking off, okay, right now. In the store, there's actually a pack that people can get that includes several magnets and the gingerbread bounce house. So you remember that temporary destination. Yeah. So you can get one of those and several magnets. It's all written in the store online. So that can help you navigate your way through the Magnetic Poles weekend event, which is going on. And what we've written, and I actually just have to read it, is that all the toy making activity in the North Pole, combined with the sub-zero temperatures of the South Pole, has created a magnetic field that's boosted all the magnets around the world. You can earn a badge that is a description of the picture that you get from this badge.
That's cool.
It's super cool art that Andy put together. And you can earn the badge by capping at least 15 bouncers this weekend. Do you have to use a magnet to get them? No. But
if you do.
Right. The whole point is, if you'd like to be able to get them easier, there's your magnets. So some people, that's difficult.
So you mentioned that it's a Magnetic Poles weekend.
Mm-hmm.
What else happens with the magnet? Say, for instance, I magnetize a greenie here, you know, where I'm standing.
Yes.
And I magnetize a greenie, and because I'm a premium member, I normally get four bounces on that greenie. What happens this weekend?
So with the magnetic event, what happens is it's doubled. So you're normally expecting 4. You will now be getting 8.
Wow. Wow.
That's crazy.
So it's not the points that doubled, it's actually the number
of
bounces that doubled. Wow. Mm-hmm. Does that work on all magnetized sort of locations, such as you know, your Skylands or your tree houses that sometimes can get up to 7 in a premium state? So you can get 14. You can get 14 bounces in one go.
Yes.
On your treehouse or Skyland if it's premium.
And you need 15 across the whole weekend to get the badge. And with one magnet, a premium member can get 14 from a treehouse or a Skyland. If it's a premium treehouse or a premium Skyland, you can do that twice a day. Like, you're well over the 15. I will tell you, there are no other surprise badges, so don't I'm going to see what happens if I get 1,000.
1,000.
Yeah. I mean, go for it. You'll get a lot of points. A lot of points, but no extra badges.
Yeah. And I will say this as well, because this is what I love about Munzee, is that it's a two-sided coin. And what that means is that if you don't have mechs, if you don't have bouncers yourself, you don't own any, get some ASAP, because of this double bouncer weekend. There's more chances of people going to be capping your bouncers, therefore you get the points for the bounce. See, Munzee, it's the best game.
The bouncers will absolutely be flying everywhere this weekend. Yeah. It is going to be chaotic, would be a good word for it. There will be things moving all over the place all weekend. So
lucky you're doing it now and not Christmas Eve, just saying, because they'd hit Santa Claus, just saying. But anyway.
Yeah, we can't have bouncers crossing the poles on Christmas
interrupting
Eve.
Santa Claus.
Yeah, flight traffic is already way too heavy on Christmas Eve. So we have to do it now.
Rounding out, Rob, the developments this week, we have one more thing that's coming out.
I'm going to make I'm going to make this quick, because as we record this, I'm not 100% sure if I am giving away information that's coming out in a few hours, or if this information gets rolled out at the exact same time. And this is all about greeting cards. Okay. So you know what you need in real life to send cards from one person to the next? You need stamps. Now, we're not going to change how greeting cards work at all. They're exactly the same. But what we're doing is we're opening up an opportunity for players that have owned the last few mailboxes, let's say. You're like, you know what? I really, really, really liked that paparazzi card, for example. And you only got one. And you deployed your one, and one friend was able to cap it, and that's it. And that was 2 years ago, and now you don't have it. Stamps are coming to the scene. They're going to be in the Redeem store, and you will be able to use them to get old limited edition cards. If you have ever owned it, you can redeem stamps in order to get more of those. We're going to start that with all of the Christmassy mailboxes and any Christmas type cards from limited edition from the past, including this year's festive Anna mailbox. So if you love any of these Anna mailbox cards, you can get additional ones to be able to deploy.
Wow, there you go. So stamps, that's cool. And only in the Redeem store, though.
These will be used in the Redeem store. Yes, they're going to be purchasable through the online store. They'll come in packs and things like that. This will be another credit type thing for people to be able to earn, purchase, all those different kinds of things. So yeah, we're just
similar to cogs.
Similar to cogs. Yes, that's a good way to put it. In order to get more cards, in order to get the ones
so
that
you go to the store, you go to the actual, you go to the real Munzee store itself.
Mm-hmm.
While you're there, you grab yourself some of the hairy nails. I mean, barbershops POI, and you can grab yourself some stamps to then use in the Redeem store to redeem for your favorite cards that you had previously in the past. That is really cool. I like that. I like that a lot. Moving on, Rob, we've got 5 minutes left. We got the Munzee question of the week. This one here, actually, she didn't reach out to me, Rob. Just letting everyone know, reach out to me, because you know what? It's harmless. You know, I can ask you these questions, not a problem.
Mm-hmm.
But she did ask the water cooler, and that is Gina Haler on the water cooler. She asked about the history virtuals. She said that they're obviously the history virtuals. They're the black virtuals. They're Munzee owned. And she's like, can you submit more of these? How do I submit more? How do I contact HQ in regards to these? Or are they just grandfathered now? Mm-hmm. So that's your question, Rob. Question is?
It's a great question. I saw this one on the Munzee water cooler as well. And so I'm glad you picked it, because I was actually going to comment on it and say, interesting. We've got like Texas historical Munzees. We've got them scattered around the world, right? They're in the UK. They're in quite a few different countries. They're in quite a few states. Years ago, before COVID, is when it actually all stopped, when we stopped adding new ones. We just stopped at that point in time. I have a backlog of some states and in different places. The one that most people have been interested in is the UNESCO World Heritage Sites. And so someone suggested, what if we had a community-run spreadsheet MHQ sets up? And so I was actually going to respond to that comment and say, okay. So the thing is, I kind of need somebody from the community to help out with just seeing if the spreadsheet is running properly. Like, I can set it up and say, these are the categories or the columns that I need. And then someone look it over and make sure we're good. And then when we feel like cutting it off, then we launch them.
Perfect. There you go. Hear it from Rob first. Wow. Wow. See what happens, Gina, when you ask these questions? You get answers. Sometimes they're good, sometimes they're bad. But at all times, though, you pretty much do get answers of some sort. So that is really cool. So we don't have a time frame on this as such at this point in time, I dare say. But when it comes out, you'll hear more about it. And, of course, make sure you are always subscribing to the Munzee social medias, whether it be Facebook or YouTube and all that sort of stuff as well. Make sure you subscribe to all that sort of stuff. And, of course, Munzee are going to make their announcement at some point in time when that's ready to go. That's really cool. Don't forget, people, submit your questions for Rob for Tip of the Week via a personal message to me on Facebook, Instagram, or on Discord as well. But before we go, we've got to get the tips of the week out. Firstly, I'll say this. Some feedback first. Feedback from James Savannah on YouTube. And he said, the tips and questions are good. I just wanted to say that the web map and the latest Cup of Z are way easier to use. Looking forward to the next episode. So thank you for that, James. Very, very, very appreciated, mate. But with the tip of the week comes in regards to the last weekend's events, let's just say. And I like to call it, no one else calls it, I just call it this, booster stacking. Oh, booster stacking. What's booster stacking? Well, if you're wanting extra points, Rob, and you're at a double point weekend already, and you're in an event as well, even better, what you can do is you can deploy a double point virtual booster, which will then give you double of the double, which is 4 times the points. And if you combine that with the radius booster and start bombing, you can then bomb your way while you're sitting at the event. You can bomb your way to cap like 4 times points and up to a mile radius of these things sometimes, you know what I mean? Because that's what the bombs can do, up to a mile radius. So there you go. I like it. I like booster stacking.
Booster stacking is a very cool idea. And I mean, you can don't forget, you can throw a physical capture booster on, right? And you can walk around and capture all the physical stuff while you're doing the same with virtual. So a virtual capture and a physical capture and the capture radius booster, so that you're getting the scatters that are outside your normal. I mean, yeah, it's limitless. You could do it.
Yes.
Yep.
Yeah. So if you really want that millionaire's badge, by the way, I've got one. But if you really want that millionaire's badge and you are coming to Florida, for instance, let's just say that, you can very easily obtain that, especially if you are using some sort of booster stacking type style. So,
absolutely.
So there you go, Rob. This ends another official Munzee podcast.
Thanks for joining us on this Munzee adventure.
So don't forget to subscribe, rate, and review on your favorite podcasting app, and join us next week for, of course, another exciting episode.
And remember, Munzee is more than a game. It's a worldwide community of mobile game players.
So keep scanning, keep discovering, and keep that Munzee spirit alive. 1, 2, 3, Rob Munzee
on.
That was pretty good.
I got it.